Hey, Tiger fans, Ben Rosenbaum here for this week's edition of the Tiger Basketball Report. And as always, I'm joined by the head coach of the Tigers, Laura Harper. Coach, welcome back in the studio, finally. And back in the win column as well, 66-40 over UMass Lowell, now 6-5, wrapping up non-conference play. Just your thoughts on the non-conference schedule.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
As a whole.
Pardon me. First non-conference with the Tigers. It's exciting. Definitely played some tremendous opponents, and to come out 6-5 healthy, that's a blessing and a win for us. I think that this non-conference really prepared us for conference, and it exposed us in ways that it helps us know what we need to get better at. So I told them yesterday, it's a new season, 0-0, nothing else matters, and we're locked and loaded for Charleston.
And before we get to Charleston, let's talk about how you wrapped up the non-conference against UMass Lowell, 66-40. Fair to say the beginning of that game, not the most offensively explosive game from both sides. Just slow shooting. Great defensive game twice. Towson held UMass Lowell to single digits, 6 and 4 points in the first and third, respectively. Just your thoughts on that slow start and the mental toughness, because it would be very easy for either team to say, shots aren't falling, kind of throw in the towel, but kept shooting. They kept going at it and eventually exploded in the second half.
For sure, playing on December 23rd after finals, I think that showed in that first quarter for both teams. Us as a team now, we're focused on getting stops. We actually implemented our new turkey rule, which, like bowling, 3 stops in a row. We try to get 7 or 8 of those per game. And typically when we get 7 or 8, we win. So we really, really harped and honed in on just getting stops, getting rebounds, as opposed to just scoring. So I was really proud of how they responded.
Yeah, and talk about the defense a little more. I mean, 6 points in the one quarter, 4 in the third. I mean, that especially that third quarter, that kind of shut the lights out on UMass Lowell. And maybe sometimes during this year Memphis game, you think, if we had gotten a big defensive quarter in one of those later quarters, we win the game. Outcome's different. So that had to make you happy to see the defense last from the first to the fourth.
For sure. After Memphis, I definitely thought that we had to make an adjustment, make a change. And that's what a season is for, and I think now just knowing that they are capable of that when we lock in, when we decide that we want to defend, and the players that decide that they want to defend and rebound will play. And I think it showed in that second half that we can, we have all the firepower, we have all the pieces. We just have to decide to defend.
Kylie Cornegay-Lucas, another double-double. It's almost not even fun to talk about anymore. We should get a counter like they used to do for home runs in certain stadiums. Pat Enuma ties her career high at 10. Quinn almost a career high for her. But Pat starting to hit her stride now. She's starting to get more comfortable, it seems, in the offense.
Of course, I can only imagine, because I've been there, what it's like to join a team after having 6 months off. And I think just for her, learning her teammates, just getting respect from her teammates. She gets it because she's in the gym every single day, but it's a totally different story of playing and getting her stride. So it's only a matter of time. And the goal always was for her to be ready for conference. So I'm just excited that she's getting her stride right now.
And then jumping back to defense, Sky Williams, another strong game for her, but something we haven't talked about is Sky's defense, especially in transition. Ryan Holder and I were talking about it. What she does so well, I've never seen a Towson player do it, is in those transition breaks for the other team, it's almost like she's playing safety. She reads where that pass is going, and she either tips it to herself or tips it to someone else. Talk about her defensive play, because we've talked about her offense, but Sky brings it on the defensive side, especially in that transition play.
It's so funny you say that, because in our transition defense, we have 2 roles, which are called the hawk and the safety. And the hawk is actually her. So that's the person that's just making it tough for the point guard a lot of times. And it's a lot of work, because every single time we score, she's on the ball, defending. And, as we were throwing and mixing up some presses, she's in there just doing her thing. And again, Sky's our silent assassin. She works hard. She's there. She's athletic. She's bought in. And we're just so excited that we have her.
All right. And now College of Charleston opens up CAA play for the Tigers and for yourself in your first year. Taking a look at the Cougars, 5-5, kind of an up and down season so far. They've played some tough opponents. They've had some big wins. They're averaging 72 a game, second best offense in the conference right now. When you look at the Cougars, what jumps out to you?
Transition offense, ball screen defense. Number 12 is really getting into her stride. I know last year we lost by 20 to them. And the Jenna, who's actually injured for them, I think had 37 points. So it just helps us from a humbling standpoint of they are so capable. They love to score. In their wins, I believe they score 80 plus points and they win on the boards plus 13. So just knowing that those are some sure numbers of how they have success, it gives us, just some kind of standards that we need to definitely try to hold them under and make sure we defend and rebound.
You mentioned the rebounding. They're efficient on the offensive glass. I know that's been a point of emphasis for you. How do you, you said it's 0-0 conference play. Now is the time when you really got to ratchet it up. So what's the mindset now, especially on the rebounding?
We talked yesterday about just the ability to hold everyone accountable. And I don't know if y'all noticed last game, but I just started subbing. Every time someone missed a box out, sub next. We have to figure out, is it important to go and grab the ball? And no one's perfect, don't get me wrong, but there has to be an emphasis. And I need to see that you're trying, because at the end of the day, if we don't try and get better at this rebounding thing, it's just going to be a long season for us.
Jada Logan had a triple-double performance a few games ago. You have a player on your team who also can fill up a stat sheet. Do you use Kylie in a way to simulate what someone who you have to be aware of offensively? She can shoot, she can rebound defensively, she can make plays with assists, steals, whatever. Do you use her as a scouting tool almost?
Well, we do scout. We typically have a scout team, which usually are bench players. So, Kylie, one, needs to focus on not fouling. She needs to focus on her job. And so in doing that, we actually usually take her away from that and just try to give her different responsibilities, because that's another thing about this team. If Kylie gets in foul trouble, it's no surprise that that's something we have to grow in. So not necessarily being the other team's best player. Mariah usually gets that role and she loves it. She flourishes in that, but yeah, Kylie will definitely have to stop her at some point.
And you mentioned Mariah, and I wanted to jump back to UMass Lowell. You were able to get some of the bench players some time at the end of that game. And for a team that, coming off the Memphis loss and heading into conference play, to not only get the win, but get everyone involved, get everyone on the court, and the bench was really up. You could see the difference. That had to be good from a momentum and a morale standpoint, just to get some of the end of the bench players in and get them some stats as well.
For sure. I don't know if there's been a game that I've been able to play all 13 players in, more than 2 minutes each. I think everyone played at least 4 minutes that game. And for me, I play a lot. I play the whole bench. So I think that hopefully shows and gives trust on the team. Every day you show up, there's a chance. I will give it to you. And Mariah, I told her, yes, she's the most consistent energy person that we have. She's positive. She's always going to bring it in. Not enough is said for players like Mariah on teams that just make you better every single day.
And last question, conference play now. Obviously, you've been a head coach before. The mindset has to change, because you can go 0 and whatever in conference play, or non-conference play, then turn around and really light it up into CAA or in the conference play. Excuse me. But so what's your mindset? What's your message to them? You mentioned it at the top of the show, but it's time for conference now. You're going to see everyone twice. Tournament time, it's here. So what's the message to the team come conference now?
It's a new season, like we talked about earlier, and I have to up my ante. They need to understand, I'm not new anymore. They're not new anymore. And, the same level of competitiveness that has gotten me to this level as a player and a coach, they have to feel that. We're really comfortable in a lot of different ways. And, comfort zone, it's complacency. That's where complacency lies. And we're not going to be comfortable, because we need to continue to just elevate our game.
All right, the Tigers open up CAA play against the College of Charleston Thursday night at 7 o'clock. If you can't make it out to CQ, we'll have the game for you on Flow Sports, where you can follow along there. For the head coach of the Tigers, Laura Harper, I'm Ben Rosenbaum. Thanks for joining us, and as always, go Tigers.
Go Tigers.